What's up, Pokemon trading card game fans? Welcome to episode 29 of the Special Conditions podcast, where our love for Pokemon and collecting collide. Today is April 1st, 2020, April Fool's Day. Ooh. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Tuttle, joined by my co-host, Josh Brown. What's going on? Do anything fun for April Fools?
Well, I mean, this is my last time on the podcast, so I just want to say thank you for a lot of fun episodes, but I have decided to start my own podcast about Yu-Gi-Oh! So
See, and it's unfortunate, but, you know, it's nice to have had you along for this amount of time.
No fooling on this April 1st, because the world sucks right now, and practical jokes do not make anybody feel better about things, so...
Well, I'm sure Pokedad Rick would appreciate the Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference.
Yeah, I mean, I learned so much after last week's episode. I was like, new podcast idea. Let's go.
Yeah, we've just gone straight into defense mode.
Yeah.
we turned our Yu-Gi-Oh! Card sideways.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll do like Beyblade's podcast or something.
Man, that would be cool.
Is that
my son would listen to that?
Is that still a thing? I don't know.
Apparently.
Wow.
The last tournament I went to that I won, there was actually a Beyblade league tournament going on in the back of the room. I was like, what?
Good for them.
Yeah, it's just not what I would expect.
Something for everyone out there, isn't there?
But yeah, so the show will still go on with both Josh and I. That was,
yes.
Obviously a joke. Not a very funny one, but
you hope.
So on today's show, we get to talk about the 2020 Pokemon Championship Series being canceled, which is super unfortunate, but we'll dig into that in a minute. Mm-hmm. Pickup of the week, there was a new Tag Team GX box that released. We'll get into that. Josh's question of the week, and then the card of the week is Reset Stamp from Unified Minds.
Yeah, and spoiler, my question of the week is probably going to tie into the news story about the championship series getting canceled, so those will be kind of intermingled in the show. So
all right,
yeah, just to let you know.
All right, well, then there's a plug too for stuff later on, but all right, so let's get into it.
Well, also, Adam, I want to let you know, I didn't tell you this ahead of time, but I have another news article that I wanted to read you, but I need to find it again. So once I find it, I definitely want to dig into it, because again, we don't get many news articles about Pokemon trading cards.
No,
and
not usually.
When I saw this one, I said, ooh, that's juicy. That's interesting. That's definitely something we haven't talked about. So
we'll squeeze the juice when we get there.
Yeah,
you dig for it.
I have it pulled up. I just found it, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, do you want to do it first?
Yeah, let's do it first.
Okay, because it's actually about a tournament that already happened, which will probably be the last tournament for a long time because of what we're going to talk about next. So, I just want your thoughts on this. Essentially, is why I wanted to bring it up. The headline of the article, and I pulled this up from IGN, is Pokemon Champion uses Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise to win major tournament. Okay.
Okay.
Are you intrigued?
I'm intrigued, but I can see where it's going.
Have you heard the story yet?
No.
Okay. So the TCG 2019 World Champion, Henry Brand, he just added another major victory to his record, and this time he did it in style. Brand took first place at the Pokemon Regional Tournament in Perth, Australia, with an Ultimate Mew 3 deck that had never been seen before. And the biggest surprise to longtime Pokemon fans was that it used all three Gen 1 starters, Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. So, let's see here. One key aspect that made Brand's deck so unexpected is how it uses so many Pokemon of different types. Talking about the meta decks, and it's talking about Blastoise deck won the 2015 Pokemon TCG World Championship. Many decks have earned big wins with Reshiram and Charizard GX since it was released in May 2019. Obviously, we've talked a lot about that card on our show. And Venusaur, it gets points for trying.
Yes, yeah. Now, is it talking about the GXs by themselves, or is it the tag team GXs?
Let's see here. So let's see. So it's hard. The special ingredient that allows Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise to coexist in the same deck is none other than Mewtwo and Mew GX. This obscenely powerful card has the Perfection ability that lets it use the attacks of other Pokemon GX on the bench or in the discard pile. For example, if Mewtwo and Mew GX take a big hit, it can return the damage and then some with Reshiram and Charizard GX's Outrage attack. If it needs to reach a big number to take a knockout on a Pokemon with high HP, it could use Blastoise GX's Rocket Splash to get there. As for Venusaur and Snivy GX, rather than its attack, it's in the deck for the Shining Vine ability that lets it gust up a vulnerable bench Pokemon. He was able to answer the multi-type problem with the newly released Aurora Energy that provides all types of energy. When 4 copies are added to the deck along with 4 Rainbow Energy, which has the same effect for a different cost, the deck has 8 energies that let Mewtwo and Mew GX use virtually any attack. In addition to the Kanto trio, the deck uses a handful of odd Pokemon like Alolan Raticate GX, Vileplume GX, and Flygon GX that most other players had long written off as Binder Trash. But Binder Trash, But Brand saw that they had very specific uses that he could exploit to take opponents off guard and come out victorious. Those are just the highlights of the deck, but if you want a detailed explanation, has a link to his YouTube channel, which we could throw up here in the show notes. But yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, see, I honestly thought as soon as you said it used all 3 of those, I was like Mewtwo. Because I today on PTCGO played against another a Mew 3 deck that was utilizing the Charizard, the Blastoise, and the Venusaur. That's why I was asking if they were the tag teams, because it was that's what the ones that they were using. That's what was
so
used
people online
me.
have already caught on to this then.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because it's like anything with like any GX Pokemon that they can discard with 1 type of energy requirement that's like 1 energy and then 2 colorless or 3 colorless,
right?
They can just come out of nowhere and just use any of those attacks. They literally have the whole gambit of GX move pool to be able to use against you, and it's tough sometimes because you don't know what they like. If you're not constantly looking in their discard, you don't know what they have, especially on PTCGO, because you can't just grab their discard and look through and see what they have. You have to actually go into the discard, click it, and then see.
Right.
Because sometimes they use like a Dedenne, discard their hand, you don't get to see everything. So it's tough. But I can see all these uses.
Explore yourself.
Personally, I haven't like messed too much around with Mewtwo, just because it's not my particular style of deck.
Sure.
I don't like the fact that your whole entire deck is based on your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So a Mimikyu that, if somebody places a damage counter on you, hence like Galarian Zigzagoon, they can place a damage counter on you, and then you can't use your abilities, which makes you rely on Stealthy Hood to prevent all abilities done to GX Pokemon. So it basically negates that effect because it prevents all effects from abilities.
Gotcha.
And it relies on weakness energy, like the weakness card, to be able to prevent an opposing Mewtwo or an opposing Giratina from like one-shotting it. There's just so much weakness behind it, and it's just tough because it's so powerful. But at the same time, it has a major weakness, which is Psychic.
Right. Now, when these Mewtwo decks, Mew 3 decks go up against each other, does it come down just to luck of the draw and flip of the coin.
Basically it's whoever can take the knockout first. And then they have to have the response. Because back in the day, there was basically a Mewtwo. I forget what set it's from. But it basically, you one shot at like everybody's Mewtwo, and it was like adding, amount of damage times the amount of energies attached to the opposing Pokemon and yourself.
Right.
And basically, if they had a Mewtwo with 2 energies and you had a Mewtwo with 2 energies, you could knock each other out. So it came down to whoever could, like, if you didn't have the response Mewtwo, then they were just going to win. So that's pretty much how this goes. If you don't have the response Mewtwo or the GX Latios with Tag Purge or whatever it is that prevents tag team Pokemon from attacking you, then you're pretty much a fish in the water. Because you need one of those 2 cards. You need the Weakness Guard Energy or the Tag Purge Latios to be able to use that attack from the discard.
Gotcha.
Or the bench. But I don't know. It's just tough because there's just a lot of weakness. Like I said, it takes a lot of skill to play.
Right.
I'm not saying that, just anybody can pick up the deck. But there's a lot of luck factors involved.
I think I was mainly curious as a newbie to all this, like how much shade the OG trio gets. I mean, obviously not Charizard, because Charizard's a beast. We all know that. But overall, like, poor Venusaur.
No, I know Venusaur never gets the amount of love that it deserves. There was one in Shining Legends that had like the overgrowth ability that allowed each grass energy to count as 2. So 2 grass energies could equal its 4 attack, which was really handy. It allowed for Shining Genesect to do a ton of damage. But it's a stage 2, so it's not the best. And then you had Archie's was a supporter that you could basically bring a water Pokemon from your discard onto your bench, and you could just bring Blastoise, so you could just dump all the waters from your hand. So Archie's Blastoise has always been a thing in expanded format. So like Blastoise gets the love. Charizard has the new one from I believe it's Team Up, where you can attach 2 fire energies to it, but you put 2 damage counters on it. And then for 2 energies, it does, I think, 50 plus 50 more for each energy discarded. Something like that. But it's basically really powerful. And the Blastoise is powerful. And then Venusaur just always gets the shaft.
Right.
It always gets the short straw. So to speak.
Poor Venusaur. But no, I just I have a lot of love for the OG starters, and it's nice to see them still, kicking butt in tournaments for now.
Yeah, and they put them with the other starters, so like to kind of give them an updated feel. And I love that Blastoise Piplup tag team. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
Yeah.
And Snivy doesn't really get a lot of love either, so
also
you
true.
put 2 Pokemon that don't get a lot of love together. There's not a lot of love to go around there.
Snivy couldn't even get love from Pokemon Go. It was supposed to be Snivy Community Day this month of March, which obviously didn't happen. But like they're like, nah, we're gonna change up the formula and just go another route and hold Snivy for later.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, everything happens for a reason, and Snivy just deserved to get shelved for right now.
Shout out to all the grass type fans out there.
Yes, a big shout out.
Do grass type decks ever do well? Like, has there ever been really successful grass decks?
Yeah. There's been Vespiquen, which had the EVs in it that when you evolved into like Flareon, your stage 1 was a fire type. And if it was a Jolteon, stage 1 is a lightning type. Vaporeon, they were water. So you could make some crazy plays with that. And I forget what it was. I think it's the amount of Pokemon that were in your discard It did like 10 damage plus 10 more for each Pokemon in your discard, but then you utilize the type advantage.
Gotcha.
And then there was Speed Drill. I don't exactly remember how that went, but it was like for every Beedrill in play, it did like 40 or 50 damage, something like that. And it was enough to take pretty much a knockout as long as you got all 4 out. And back then, you had like a grass stadium that allowed, I forget what it's called, but it allowed you to evolve that same turn. So you could go Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill. Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill. So you could just search them out.
Right.
And just get them really, really quickly.
Huh. Interesting.
So there has been. And right now, Rillaboom's doing really good. You do the Alolan Executor with Rowlet, and then you just basically use its first energy-less attack to search for the Rillaboom, because it just allows you to evolve just like that. You go Grookey, Thwacky, Rillaboom for no energies. It's kind of nice. And then you just utilize a bunch of different grass-type Pokemon that can attack and utilize those energies.
Right. Well, maybe 2021 will be the year of the grass type.
I hope.
Because it's not going to be 2020, Adam.
What?
It's not going to be 2020.
No, it's not. Yeah.
That's a segue, Adam.
Yeah. I think with the elimination of the fairy type and the whole shift of typings and the weaknesses and stuff, I think it's going to make the game more balanced. I'm already seeing it. It's exciting. I'm excited.
Good.
All right, but let's dig into this. The 2020 Championship Series has been canceled. So just the highlights essentially are that, they're concerned with the health and safety of the players, the community. I think it's the right step.
100%.
I think everything they're doing here is amazing. It is the best step. So just key points here. Your points from the 2020 season will roll over. So anything that I've earned so far will just go on to next season.
That's big. Right off the bat, that's the best move that they could make for this.
Now, with that being said, I hope, fingers crossed, that they do not increase the points needed, because that would just be super annoying.
Oh, gotcha. Counting it like a season and a half, essentially.
Right. You're like, oh, you need 650 points to get in. Yes, but some people already, you win a regionals or whatever, you've got tons of points already. You win an internationals, you've got your world's invite, basically.
Right.
So it's some people weren't even there.
Yeah.
And then it said all the leagues, the clubs, the pre-releases, all the events have been tabled for now.
Yeah.
And it's how will pre-releases happen? I did read an article on the website talking about, the pre-releases, and said basically the local stores will have them and you'll be able to pick them up. It basically said, follow your guidelines. If you can't be out, don't go out and get them.
Right. So they're still going to be releasing the cards then, huh?
Yeah. So they're just essentially, they're just not having pre-release tournaments, which is sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad. But we're here. We're here and we're doing what we can. If we can't help it, and you're able to go out, get some.
Right.
But things to do while you wait.
And this was going to be my question of the week, Adam, is, a lot of people are just stuck indoors, other than going out for walks or going to the store or whatever. You can't hang out with friends and play Pokemon. You can't go to tournaments. You can't practice. How are people supposed to continue working and practicing this card game without being able to interact?
This is where Pokemon, they get a huge push for the PTCGO.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have code cards, I think more people than ever will be turning to the PTCGO.
Sure.
Not everybody plays it. Like I know my brother was playing it for a little while and then he just completely cold turkey stopped. Right. His only interaction with Pokemon is like me and sometimes go into a league challenge.
Right.
So it'll be tough. And just to quickly jump back to the pre-releases, they will be in stores April 18th. As far as your like local shops, they're going to be allowed to be selling them early. So just April 18th is the date.
Right. And that's obviously dependent on if your local shops are allowed to be open.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which I think mine's basically just open for curbside pickup and that's it. Which is cool that they're still open.
Sure.
But sad that you can't go in and like look at singles.
Right.
I understand why and everything, but
yeah.
But like again, things you can do while you wait. PTCGO becomes more prevalent. You can join remote tournaments. You can join their like pickup tournaments just straight on PTCGO and just challenge yourself. Like take one deck and you play your matches and see if you win. And if you do win, tag us in that picture. Take a screenshot, tag us, send it to us. Let us know how you did. Let us know what deck you used. We would definitely love to hear that or see it. But there is a massive tournament going to be going on. It's a series put on by Limitless. A ton of content creators are going to be sponsoring this. It's called the Limitless Invitational.
Okay.
Just here's a little blurb from their website. It said, we designed a tournament circuit to bring the Pokemon community together for an online showdown during the Corona-induced tournament break. It will consist of 4 free-to-play qualifiers open to everyone. Each one of them will be brought to you by a unique sponsor, feature a prize pool provided by the given sponsor, and award limitless points equal to a regional championship. For the final invitational, all sponsors come together and provide a combined prize pool. The top 12 players that manage to earn the most points at the qualifiers and 4 content creators chosen through an online voting will be invited to fight for great prizes and custom promo cards. Which, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Rad. I'm so stoked. I've already got my Battlefly little created account or whatever I needed to do. Mm-hmm. But you do need to sign up with like your in-game name. You have to join a Discord. And then you also have to provide a deck list and you can't change it throughout the tournament. So you have to have your deck list ready to go and like send it to your opponent so they can make sure that you're not cheating.
Okay. Now, so I think I might have missed something here. Is this a PCTGO tournament or is it okay.
Yep.
It's not a physical card tournament that you have to like Skype in or something like that.
Correct. And because it's online, because they're trying to there's no limit, they're trying to make sure that they have it done in a timely manner. So they're doing like, I think 25-minute rounds. And like I said, you have to present your deck list to your opponent. So if they did see that like, oh, you played a Charizard GX in your Mew box deck, but you don't actually play it in your deck list, like then you bring it up to a judge, you take a screenshot, and you let them know. And you say there's a discrepancy in the deck list. They're doing their best, and you can't have a tie, which is why they said 25 minutes is the timer.
Okay.
And that prevents any slow playing, that prevents any mill decks basically, because they have to win within that time. There's no ties. You gain nothing from that.
Right.
And I'll have the description and everything, the link and everything, which gives you all the details from top to bottom in the description of the podcast. So please check that out because I'd love to see you guys there. I'm hardcore fish, hard and then core fish, like the Pokemon. And I'm going to have a lot of fun.
When does this start?
I believe the first one starts on April 4th.
Oh, so a couple days.
Yes, which ironically is my son's first day back to school, or supposed to be. I don't know how that's going to work.
Wait, April 4th?
Oh, May 4th. No, is it?
Oh.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
I'm like, April 4th is like that would be Sunday? Saturday? You shouldn't be in school on a
Yeah,
weekend.
April 4th through 5th is qualifier 1. Qualifier 2 is April 18th through 19th. Qualifier 3 is May 2nd through 3rd. And qualifier 4 is, I believe, May 16th through the 17th.
Okay. So they're spreading it out nicely.
Yeah, no, and it's awesome. So this is coming up, so I hope this gets out really fast, and I hope you're able to join in, because this is going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably bring Dark Box. It's the only thing I really got. Or I could bring Blastoise. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, but
Sure.
I just know I'm going to have fun. So I'd like to see you guys do it and join us in. Maybe Josh jumps in.
Maybe. Is it tough for people that don't play online, that only play, the physical game, to recreate their deck online
Sometimes
the way they like?
If you don't have like hundreds of packs to be able to like swap over for the cards you don't have.
Yeah.
Like me right now, I'm playing a Toxicroak Ariados deck with Quillfish. Basically, it's all about special conditions. Yeah. So basically, they hit my Quillfish, they're poisoned, and then I have my 4 Toxicroaks on the bench. You're gonna take 90 damage or 80 damage. So you take 80 damage plus the 10. So I think it's 90. I think you take 90 damage just for hitting me. And then I come up with another Quillfish, does 60 plus 10 if you're or 10 plus 60 if you're poisoned, and then you take even more damage. It's fun. I haven't won too many, but once I get somebody like asleep and they flip tails, they get very frustrated and they just leave. and it would be a lot better if the new double colorless type energy comes out, because then I'll be able to attack with Toxicroak, because right now he's just literally just sits there.
Sure.
So it's kind of lame. Basically, I think this would work much better if I had the new Flapple that's coming out, because I believe, hold on, let me look. The pre-release, yeah, it's one of the pre-release cards. It's a stage 1. It has 80 HP. It says once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If you place damage counters in this way, you shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it back into your deck. So you just keep continuously placing damage counters and poisoning. So you technically don't really need to attack.
Right.
But you can.
Sure.
And then it's going to a two colorless attack for 60 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So that is going to be a lot of fun.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just working on crazy stuff.
Sure. Why not?
Exactly. Why not? All right. So we're going to move on to pickup of the week. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. So
actually, one last thing. So, do they have a date of when the next season will officially start? Like,
they don't, not yet.
Okay, so that's
not that I saw. It was just kind of like, we're sorry, for the inconvenience, but your player safety is number one priority.
Right.
Which I can respect.
Do they know if he'll be back? Because it was supposed to be in London this year, right?
Yes, I believe it's still going to be in London.
Okay, so that's just all going to get pushed then to...
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. All right, that was it. I just didn't know if they had set any expectations as to when everything will start back up or whatnot. So
no, yeah, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, like everything else in this world, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So the Tag Team Powers Collection box came out on March 27th. I haven't been out, so I didn't realize these were out.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So Pokedad Rick, shout out to the Pokedads. He had messaged me and showed me the Darkrai Umbreon, and he knows how much I love Darkrai Umbreon.
Mm-hmm.
He messaged me. He was like, "Yo, you need this? I got you." And I was like, "Oh, I need that." So he hooked me up with that, so I don't need to spend the $50 to get the entire box.
It's a $50 box?
It is. It comes with Deoxys Espeon GX, or Tag Team. It comes with a full art Eevee GX, and it comes with a random Tortuga GX.
What?
Yeah, super super random. Like almost like why is that even in there? I can understand the Eevee because it goes with the Espeon Umbreon, but the Tortuga, nothing correlates to that.
That's funny.
It is. And so basically there's two different boxes. The only difference being the jumbo card in the back. You do get Cosmic Eclipse, Lost Thunder, Celestial Storm, Cosmic Eclipse. You get 2 of those. You get 2 Shield and Sword, and then you get 1 Sun and Moon and 1 Generations or Evolutions. Because you can't have a box without Evolutions, right? Am I right? Yeah. Can I get a high five?
I mean, it's not Steam Siege, right?
Yeah. And so that's all the stuff that's in there. And then obviously you get the code card for all that cool stuff that you can get.
Right.
But I only cared about, Darkrai. So.
Yeah, but that Deoxys and Espeon card is dope.
Yeah, no, it like the artwork on both of them are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Crazy.
But yeah, did you pick up anything? No?
No,
yes?
man.
No?
I haven't. When I go to the store for groceries, like, I am not thinking Pokemon cards.
I am thinking how I can't. I don't want to touch anything. I'm using my sleeve for everything.
Right.
To be honest, I've taken a different sweatshirt or jacket every single time I've gone out.
Sure. Yeah. I don't blame you. And I feel weird about ordering like frivolous stuff online. Also, like, the people delivering packages and mail. Like, I understand, like, you need essentials and you need food and whatnot, and like the people delivering that stuff, doing God's work out there. Great.
Yeah.
But like, it feels weird to just sit here and order Pokemon cards, online and be like, I can't leave the house, but I can make somebody bring me some Pokemon cards.
Yep.
It's a weird feeling. So
yeah, I've had a couple Pokemon cards in my cart, and I'm like, I really want to, but I know I can't.
Yeah.
Like my design, I haven't like bought anything. It's so weird. Like, I was at the store and I went grocery shopping, and I was looking at the cards, and I did buy the 3-pack blister, and I knew that like I needed that.
Yeah.
For Insta Booster and like for Gotta Watch 'Em All and stuff. So it was a necessity. But with groceries, I went out for groceries. So but it's like I didn't really want to buy them. I like had a hard time. I was like, I need these because I have to do this, but I just didn't want to buy them.
Yeah.
It was a weird feeling. I've never felt that way.
It is weird. Maybe by next week, next time we do this podcast, I'll have a pack or two to open and make up for it. But right now I'm just kind of trying to be smart about things and try to be, mindful of things going on. But yeah, we'll see. Okay. All right.
Well, do you have a question?
Well, I mean, my question was like, like, other than, this cool tournament that you brought up and playing online, like, are there any other suggestions you would have for people that want to play the card game and want to keep practicing or want to work on decks that don't necessarily want to do it, on the online game?
I'm glad you asked that. Skype, Discord calls, FaceTime, Zoom calls, anything that you can allow yourself to get a clear visual of their board and your board, I think would and then just play your friends. I mean, I would absolutely love to do that.
Yeah, if you're playing your friends, you shouldn't be too worried about them cheating or pulling one over on you. Or
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that, in this time right now, I think we all need our friends. Mm-hmm. And we should be there for our friends. So if you have time, if you want to play a game, call up your friend.
Yeah. Maybe call up Adam.
Maybe call up me.
Send Adam a message. He'd play somebody, I bet.
Yeah, I definitely would. I'll just, obviously I set my laptop up pretty high, have it face my board, and Well, or I'll get I have another camera. We'll make something work.
Yeah.
Even if we do like over live on Instagram, something, we'll make it work.
Are there any websites that you know of or apps or anything that are like simulators? Like you put in your deck and you could like pick from like a variety of like well-known decks and have it like run a simulation against it and see how it fares by law of averages?
Not that I know of.
Am I just making something up? Like
I basically do that with myself.
Okay.
Don't make fun of me. No.
Well, no, but I mean, if you had a computer that was just like running, here's 100 matches against this type of deck, how would you do?
Well, listen, I've been down on myself. The next set, Rebel Clash, has Bolton V, and I put together a deck from a list that I saw online, and from like a winning list from Japan, and it's brutal. It plays no stadium, no special energies, and no tool cards. It has 4 supporters. It's got the Professor Magnolia, and it's got like 4 Pokemon Catcher, 4 Electromagnetic Radar. Like everything has 4s. And then for Pokemon, it's like the Tapu Koko Prism Star, 1 Rayquaza GX, 2 Zeraora GX, 3 Dedenne, and then 4 Bolton. And it does 10 damage plus 30 for each lightning energy attached to all your Pokemon. And so basically, if on your opening hand you have 5 energies, you can discard them all with Dedenne, use like Electromagnetic Radar, go get Dedenne, discard them, and let's just say you go second. And then you can attach to your Zeraora, and then use its GX attack, attach all 5 of those. And then next turn, you've got free retreat because you have the lightning energy. You retreat, bring out the Bolton, attach. You can discard 2 more, use Tapu Koko Prism, and all of a sudden you've got like 8 energies on board.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing like 250.
That's
it's brutal.
Powerful. Yeah.
And then you run 4 of the electro powers, so those can also add up the multiples of 30. So you could be doing that 250, but you need to knock out a GX that's 270. Boom, dead. It's brutal. It's like so consistent,
right?
And that's what scares me. Is like I was practicing against my Dark deck, and no matter what I did, even if I was turn 2 using Dark Moon GX to stop them from playing any items, they could still use Bolton's first attack, search their deck for 2 lightning energies, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So it's like, cool, you attached 1, but you got 2 more. So you're already doing 90 extra damage next turn. Like it's brutal, it's fast. And the only thing that I can tell that could stop it is you taking a loss of a prize and then having a fighting dojo and any fighting Pokemon that does 100, like you can make the math work for 100 damage. Because then you would do ×2 obviously for 200 damage to knock it out. And it's weird because any tag team, basically their attacks do 150. So then you've got Bolton with 200, and you can't snipe it with Darkrai's second ability it does 60 damage to a bench GX. It's kind of like a nightmare.
Sure. There'll be something that could counter it.
Yeah, there will be, but it's people like,
just
come on. I have all I can do to even like stop it. So guys, be aware. Bolton V, get him while you can. It's a good deck. First. It kind of puts like Reshiram not Reshiram, Zekrom, Pikarom to shame.
Right.
Just how quick and consistent it is.
Cool.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to catch my breath from being all excited about Bolton. And we'll be right back. All right, guys, thank you so much for that break. just a little housekeeping real quick before we keep going. This podcast is powered by our Patreon. You can check us out at patreon.com/PokemonProfessor, where you can support the show for as little as $1 a month. That $1 will get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. If Patreon isn't your thing, there are a few other ways you can help us out. If you're listening to us on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, anything like that, you can take a moment to leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate it.
All right, we would.
Yeah, right? And now, on to the card of the week.
Yes.
Is Reset Stamp.
What?
So this card is from Unified Minds.
Okay.
Is it from Unified Minds?
Ooh.
Oh gosh, I don't know if it is.
Oh jeez.
Well, I know the secret rare is from Unified Minds.
Yeah.
I think it's just from Unified Minds.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
that
pretty
sounds
sure.
Right.
Okay, so it's an item card, so you could just play it willy-nilly. It says your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws a card for each of their remaining prize cards. Why is that a good thing? Because if your opponent has 200 cards in their hand, because they've drawn a million times with Zacian V's ability.
Well, hopefully they don't have 200 cards in their hand, Adam. That would be
illegal.
probably,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Game loss. It's a big deck, okay? It just
okay.
Different rules, different times. Who knows what they're doing on the internet these days?
Cards up sleeves, you know.
Well, basically, we're battling. You know, it comes down to the wire. I've got one prize. You've got one prize. I've got like 5 cards in my hand, and I top deck this.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying to yourself, man, I've got all the cards I need to win next turn. And then I play Reset Stamp, and you're like, man, I just lost all the cards I needed to win this round.
Oh.
And sometimes it's like you need the energy, you need the supporter, you need the item card. And if I get rid of one of those pieces, you don't win.
Right.
Or if you need the Pokemon catcher, the great catcher, the double custom catcher, but I just shuffled your hand in and you lost it, it's completely turns around the game. Mm-hmm. Then it puts it more in my favor, so it buys me a turn. So then next turn I can win the game. It's
a really good card to have like towards the end, like as like you're battling for that last prize
right
card.
and it's hard because it's like you really only want one in the deck because it's not technically that great, you know, starting out the game.
Right.
Oh, let me just Reset Stamp your hand of 6 to 6. And then potentially you could shuffle their hand in and it was dead. There was no supporter, no energies.
Right.
And all of a sudden they have all the cards they need, which is why Marnie gives me a lot of anxiety when I use it, because I'm like, okay, you just put all those cards at the bottom and then you just drew 4 new ones.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I prefer Reset Stamp over Marnie, but I still play Marnie. It's a weird thing that goes on in my brain. But effectively, I put these like 3 little notes. You know, it has a secret rare in Unified Minds.
Mm-hmm.
That
gold card.
Oh no, I know, right? # Flex Deck. Yeah. It's banned in the expanded format.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would assume because N is already a thing, and that shuffles both players' hands to their deck, and then you draw that many for their prize cards. So it's a supporter, and then you would do an item. I'm pretty sure you can manipulate prizes like turn 1, and then be able to use that turn 1 as well, and just keep going. I think it's not good for the game in expanded because there's just so many crazy plays you can make with it.
Sure.
Because you can, I believe you can take your own prizes with Mischievous right now. So like you could do it in standard too, but like play 4 Dust Stones, evolve into 4 Mismagiuses, take 4 knockouts, and then play Reset Stamp. And your opponent's down to 2 prizes, or 2 cards in their hand and 2 prizes left. So, I mean, I don't know. Just a simple answer, I don't know why it's banned, but I'm pretty sure it just makes the game unbalanced.
Sure.
But it has the potential to win you games by your opponent like dead drawing. Mm-hmm. So if they needed a certain evolution and they're just drawing into another energy and can't do anything more, that kind of can win you games. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
So you'd only recommend one in your deck?
I'd say most decks should carry one.
Okay.
If you're not playing anything like Marnie, because your opponent, I've noticed this on PTCGO, like if I, like in my special conditions deck, if I don't have Marnie in there, their hand just gets out of hand. Gotcha. And you need to be able to, because like if they're going to have the double custom catcher and like have that plan ready or the switch, and it's like, no, let's just shuffle all those down and draw 4 new ones. If you don't have anything to manage their hand, it's tough to keep going because they'll always have the answer to whatever you do. And this just takes the answer away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's a show.
Yeah, short little episode this week.
But do you have a code?
Long. I do have a code, Adam. Let me see here. I have a stack of codes sitting right here. Let's see. I have two Sword and Shield codes. How about that?
All right, that works.
Okay. First one, XCW P7KC VGNDWD. And then second one is KTP DTRP P766TP. So good luck, everybody.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking around for the whole show. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Josh, do you have anything else you want to say?
Be safe out there. Stay healthy. Look out for yourself and loved ones, and we're all in this together, and we're all going to get through this together. Yes,
we are.
Yeah.
And if you are feeling, like you want to reach out and talk to us, please send us an email at specialconditionstcg@gmail.com. You can send us a voicemail, a text, a picture. We want to see your deck. We want to see, what you guys are working on. Just let us know. 732-835-8639. And remember, if you're affected by a special condition, don't forget to use a full heal.
Wash your hands.
Oh, yes. 20 seconds. Hot water.
That's right. Good night.